Howdy everybody, how y'all doing? And welcome to the Ice House, where we try to keep things cool, calm, collected, mostly a bit chill. Well, this week has been a little bit of more of a waddle down memory lane than I really had anticipated, right? I mean, it's kind of interesting when there's the intersection kind of thoughts and ideas in, going on in your own head as you respond to things, kind of react to things. And it's kind of maybe there's a little bit of a convergence, if you will, of current events and how they all slightly coincide, right? And let me explain. I'll spell this out as best I can, right? But first off, for you guys following along at home, you may have seen the PSA yesterday about, chasing after popularity just for popularity's sake is, like I said yesterday, it's a rough gambit. It's a rough go, right? And as a Punkwaddler, and as an angsty young penguin, I wasn't always this cool, calm, and collected, right? But at the same time, I was fighting the system. I was against the cool popularity, and we all know that's sort of its own trend and its own upkeep, if you will, if you're chasing an image or clout or trying to keep above things, right? Care what other people think so much that it affects how you live and you change, right? And as I said, if you've been following along at home even longer than yesterday, right? Because I wasn't born yesterday, and I don't think you were either. But I remember talking about a while ago that I do give a waddle about my punk reputation, right? And not, when I say that, a little tongue-in-cheek, it's not that I need to be a punk or be seen as some sort of anti-disestablishmentarianistic person, right? It's more of, as I carry myself and as I ponder, as I try to be authentic to who I am, my experiences and my understanding of life, right? To speak on the things that I know about, to speculate on things in an educated way, right? Or have conversations that help us sort out ideas without, telling you what you should think or telling you that what I think is better than you, right? But the whole thing is, we're all trying to figure this out, right? And let's face it, when it comes to the chasing the popularity, who do you want to be popular to? Who do you want to be above or better than, right? Clout chasing. You want to be seen, right? You want to prove why you're, or somebody wants to prove, not necessarily you, right? I don't want to point anybody out. But there's people that want to prove why they're better, why they need to be noticed, and why they need to be followed more than other people, right? And like I said, I'd rather live by my reputation, good or bad, just being honest, and there's gonna be people who like me, there's gonna be people who don't like me, right? For my hot takes, for my cool takes, and all that jazz, right? So, like I said, there's been an interesting convergence of you, if you will. Like I said, it all started off with, St. Patty's Day this week, right? Now, let's face it, I know I made some comments about that, and, drinking food coloring, green food, or green drinks, or beer, or whatnot, and eating green food, you know what I mean, right? It's that, and listening to some Irish punk is kind of what you do on St. Patty's Day, right? It makes you wear green, and you honor the traditions. I don't know if that's actually true at all, right? I would say there's probably more to it, just a hunch. But we know what happens, right? In the clubs and an excuse to party, right, and cope with life. But, like earlier this week, some of the stuff I was kind of seeing and pondering, and, well, you've seen it too. There's a lot of people that are staking their reputation, right? They're staking their following, and they're staking the consistent behavior they've had. They seem to be, as the word shilling, or, people wonder if they're getting buyouts or payouts for their reputation, right? To say or do things that kind of go against the integrity that they've built up with their followers, with the public, right? The people they want to be known for something by. And, well, whether it's aimed at, that electric car, if you will, or that orange guy, right? And there's a lot of things to be said, and a lot of people that, or maybe you're talking about those CGI Seven Dwarves, right? There's a lot of things going on this week that people wonder, is that really what you believe? Or are you just trying to say things to get somebody else's attention, to prove why, you should be noticed in the future? But let's face it, before we get to that, they also, because of the St. Paddy's Day, and I think maybe this is why this is relevant, there might have been a Celtic American-Irish punk band that jumped on the bandwagon too, right? And when you talk about relevancy and such, right? We have St. Paddy's Day this week, and so everybody probably pulled out their old albums or listened to a playlist on YouTube and heard some of their songs. So, now that people remember they still exist, why not say something to jump on the bandwagon and try to be relevant and popular again? Maybe they're trying to support a new album, or maybe they're trying to go on tour. I didn't do that much research, I'll be honest. Point being, it's just all of this chasing after something, right? And okay, I want to put a pause on this whole thing of trying to be relevant, trying to ride the coattails, right? Because who are you trying to appeal to? Again, the people out there. Who are they trying to talk to? Are they trying to talk to you? They're trying to talk to their followers and their fans. They're trying to talk to people that respected them and, followed what they said, followed how they behaved. But just like anything, when there's a strong shift in behavior, right? There's people that have been trusting and supportive that will still go on and trust and support for a little while, right? But if evidence comes out that, well, this person is no longer behaving for reasons that, they found new reasons to behave differently and act differently and say different things, all of a sudden, that goes into the, okay, are you chasing clout? Are you chasing the current era, current 15 seconds of fame, right? What, honestly, here's a question for you, for me. There's people that say that everybody has a price, right? But what are you willing to stake your reputation, your consistent behavior, even gamble and risk all the people that know you, respect you, whether it be the parasocial network followers or, real life people in your life that are by your side? Like, what are you willing to risk? How much will it take to risk all of those people becoming disenfranchised or disconnected with you because, right, what you did changed enough of that foundation and who you are and what you are for them to no longer trust you anymore, right? I don't know. Like I said, I know there's a lot of people that may not have actually had that integrity to begin with, and we're just chasing after what keeps them on top, or what keeps them, in their view, in their mind, successful, right? But at some point, there's something to be said if you're consistent and upfront that you're just chasing after money or power or certain sort of things, well, people will then negotiate with you and bargain with you with that expectation, and well, they may not agree with everything you do, at least you're somewhat consistent, right? And I'm not saying that's better, but at least there's something honest about it, right? But when it comes to doing things that seem disingenuous, right? When it comes to, you know, having a certain set of credibility and then all of a sudden doing things that seem, well, completely out of character, right? And it feels like, well, people can tell something's being hidden or pushed under a rug, and the evidence doesn't stack up, you know, to the conclusion given, right? It's a very difficult place to be in, right? And I mean, in this whole world and the parasocial network, and even in real life, we're trying to figure out who we can trust and who we can relate to and connect to, because, as I've said before, it's not just penguins that are social creatures, but all of us are social creatures, and we crave some sort of real, honest connection. And whether it is keeping it people at arm's length or fin's length, but at least have people respect and can believe, is really important, right? And I'm not talking about getting into faith and religion, but people we can believe in and truths we can believe in are really important for any sort of foundation of social engagement, social agreement, right? So the question is it really worth throwing all the chips, you know, just for whatever's right now, to bet and gamble on losing everything just because, like I said, it's, I don't know, like, it seems like some people see the politics, religion, and all this as this, like, do or die, now or never, like this absolute urgent sort of react, respond, or else something terrible will happen. But as I've grown, there's a lot more of shifting of the tectonic plates, right? For the social tectonic plates. I know I'm mincing metaphors again, but it takes a lot more time and a lot more push for things to, well, shift, right? And if we take the last 4 to 6 months, you can see that the last 4 to 6 years have really slowly seeded away to get to where we are, in a good and bad way, right? You know, there's a lot of people agreed that we needed in America a course correction, and while people are frustrated about how that's being implemented, well, I think we can all agree that something needed to happen. And, well, I mean, I don't agree with everything that always goes on, and I'm not in, you know, power or in politics, so, right, I can only say so much, and we all have opinions, but I digress. The point is, I enjoy discourse, right? I enjoy talking through ideas and, well, trying to help people figure out what makes sense, right? To me, to them, and we don't have to agree on everything. And I think that's part of the beauty of perspective and, like I said, experience. You know, my experiences and your experiences are going to be different. But if anybody looks at somebody else and says, you don't have my experiences, so you must be lesser than, I mean, you've done yourself more a disservice than even the people around you. So, the idea that clout chasing and knowing better, and that there's some sort of easy fix to make it big and all that, I mean, every now and then somebody wins that gamble, but for the most part, they probably had some other their cards in their hand or something up their sleeves. I mean, not to cheat, but you know what I mean. Some other aspects or things in their tool belt to help them succeed. But I don't know. To me, you know, being like I said, it was definitely a trip down memory lane in the fact that, you know, I used to listen to the angsty punk And I remember watching SLC Punk and thinking, do you really have to change things from within, or can you just, be angsty and angry about everything? And well, you can tell that I'm not so angsty and angry about everything anymore. Like, things bother me, obviously, but I once again, there's a lot of shifting of tides, and there's lots of ebbing and flowing of the currents. And being consistent and having a conversation and helping people understand things and learning things yourself is going to go a much farther way than trying to think that you can just reach the upper echelon just by, I don't know, doing the right thing at the right time, and everything will fall into place, right? Everything takes work, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have a reputation, right? I'd rather have something consistent that people can rely on than chasing after the next big thing to hopefully not crash and burn my whole respect and reputation that I've amassed from, the few people that show up here consistently, right? So, anyway, that's about all I got today. But as I said, let's keep having conversations, and let's keep talking about stuff and learning about each other, because that's kind of the way we learn not to disconnect and disenfranchise ourselves from each other in a way that causes more division. Because honestly, most of us are a lot alike, right? We don't agree on everything, but we're a lot alike. And I'm not going to say something cheesy like together we can, but I mean, together we can do a lot more stuff than when we're fighting and angry and trying to call out people that aren't even in our circle, right? So that's all I got for today. Hope you guys are having a good time, having a good weekend, staying chill, because, yeah. Alright, till next time, we'll see you later. Bye!